like a James Bond-esque kind of, actually the Doctor's got another plan, he's going to destroy the world, or he's going to blow up America or something like that. It needs that extra element that, aside from Ray finding out the truth about himself and what happened to him, it needs that added element of now he's got to go and stop that kind of whatever's going to happen. And look, I wouldn't have cared if they'd done the cliched, oh, he's actually a Russian doctor who's got a nuclear bomb and he's going to blow up America. I wouldn't have cared if it was a cliche, because, yeah, I liked Ray and I liked Katie as characters, but it did feel like it needed that extra element to go. Like, I was thinking about it before, the stakes in Bad Boys, like the latest Bad Boys, was higher than the stakes in this movie. And this is supposed to be a movie about, like, this doctor who's created this super race of soldiers, and it's like, when the stakes are higher in a Bad Boys movie than what it is in a great big action, what's supposed to be an action blockbuster, there's something a little bit wrong there.
Yeah, kind of like a superhero movie that seems, not quite as intense as just a buddy cop film.
Yeah. And that's why I said it does feel like a pilot, because it feels like there's so much emphasis on the characterization of Ray and Katie, I'm trying to think of the guy that helps them, but I don't want to give that away. So, but like, it so focuses on their characterization that it doesn't have that higher element. And like, the more I think about it, it kind of has that relationship between Angelina Jolie and Noah Taylor in the original Lara Croft.
Oh, yeah.
Where it would be like, but if this was that movie, it would be Lara Croft discovering that she's got these special abilities, but it wouldn't have that whole story about where she's like got to go and save the Earth. Like, it needed that extra element, I think.
Yeah, like, there were some cool ideas in here, things that I thought looked interesting. Like, the actor Toby Kebbell shows up in it pretty early on, and he's shown at the beginning of the movie to be this criminal gangster who killed Ray and Ray's wife. And when I first saw him, he instantly reminded me, even though he's an actor I haven't seen in a whole lot of things, he instantly reminded me that he was in the movie Rock and Roller, where he was playing almost the same kind of a character, like, not a murderer, but, well, yeah, he was, I guess, in Rock and Roller, but he was playing like this eccentric gangster in a fur coat dancing around to a song by Talking Heads. Like, it's very cliche, and some characters comment on it actually being a cliche, which, because as the story goes on, kind of you see that character and what you're seeing of him is maybe a little bit scripted. Like, you see the character later on, and he's not like that at all. And that it's kind of, you're kind of being shown just this kind of a stereotypical villain character that Ray would want to go after and kill. And that was actually, I thought that was an interesting idea, and something that they could have done maybe to satirize Hollywood villaans in movies. Yeah. Like, it would have been cool to see them do a little bit more of that. Like, I'm going to be terrible at this guy's name. Johannes Hacker Johansson. He's an actor. He was you'd recognize. He's in Game of Thrones. He was in Alpha. He's been in Atomic Blonde. He's kind of this like Swedish Viking looking guy, and he's in it as well, playing the same kind of character. And so I thought that the movie could have done maybe a little bit more with the idea of having these actors, these specific character actors who you're kind of used to seeing play certain maybe stereotypical villains, but then you see that that's kind of just something that Ray is being fed that's not actually true.
Yeah.
Like maybe like somebody like Danny Trejo playing some Mexican cartel thug, and then you find out no, he's not at all like that. It's just what Ray's being shown.
Yeah,
that's kind of a lie. I think they really could have built on that a little bit. Maybe, I mean, it might have gotten tired after about after the third or fourth time that they did it. But I don't know. I think it would have been interesting to have something like that in there that kind of plays against the way that Hollywood movies tend to typecast these kind of these actors. But I guess the problem is it just keeps going back to the idea that once they revealed what was going on here, and again, like it sounds like I'm spoiling the whole movie, but it's like I'm not, I guess, because this was all shown in the trailers. But it wasn't really that interesting after that, because it went to it just kind of played itself out after that. Like I do think that like the movie's going to be unfairly compared to Universal Soldier. Like even if that was a movie that kind of inspired the filmmakers and maybe even the creator of the comic, it's Universal. It's really going to be looked at as something that's kind of knocking off Universal Soldier and Hardcore Henry and some other movies. But like the problem is that those movies, especially Universal Soldier, it kind of does everything better than this, like action, story, characters, and even its star. Because like Vin Diesel is he's somebody, like I said, early on in his career, I thought that he really did try in different movies. Like you watch the first XXX movie that he was in, and then you watch the last one, and it's almost he's playing a completely different character because he just doesn't seem to care.
Yeah,
he just seems like he's just playing out his action scenes. Whereas Jean-Claude Van Damme, even though people like it seems weird to say this, but like he is actually a decent actor. And as far as like the action stars of the 80s and 90s go, like he's probably one of the better actors from that era.
Yeah.
And so in Universal Soldier, like he really brought a human element to the movie, but here Vin Diesel doesn't. He seems like a guy that's I think he's 50 now, playing in a role that he might be a bit too. Rather than bringing this human element of kind of like a killing machine waking up, he kind of just seems to be playing the movie quite robotically because he just seems to be in Bruce Willis, I don't care, give me my paycheck mode.
Yeah, it feels like he goes too far kind of into the robotic side a little bit, like which is kind of weird because it also plays up that he has got emotions in there, like there's an attraction to Katie and stuff like that. So yeah, it does feel a little bit weird, and you kind of wonder whether or not a more experienced director may have like actually picked him up on that, but because it's like I kind of imagine that this director could be like a bit of a fanboy and almost like overawed with the fact, I'm directing Vin Diesel in my first movie. So yeah, there could be a little bit of an element of that in there as well, I guess. But I guess leading to the big question, what are you going to give this one out of 5?
I'm going to probably give this one 2.5 out of 5. I really can say it is really a popcorn flick. Like it's not one that I can see, even if it did better at the cinema. Like my brother and I, we went to go see it at the IMAX cinema, and like you said, it's a really unfortunate time that the movie's come out, because there were, even though this is like the biggest cinema screen in the world, and there's 6 people in the cinema watching the movie.
Yeah.
It was really, it's really kind of sad now, because like I like Vin Diesel. I want him to be able to like be successful in these other movies, so he can, because it's cool when he makes things that he actually is interested in, like the Riddick movies and and video games and stuff that he produces, which are things that come about because he's successful in other ways.
Yeah.
But this one, I really did find myself almost nodding off at times, even during like the big action scenes and things like that. Just the story wasn't there, the characters weren't there, and for this movie being directed by somebody who's primarily comes from a visual effects background, I don't know, just even that just seemed like it was just CGI heavy, but it didn't even look that good. So it's just going to be kind of a forgettable popcorn flick that you might check out on Netflix at some time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to give this 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm going to be a little bit more lenient. I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5 because I did kind of enjoy it. I just thought that, yeah, it kind of did peter out towards the end, but I kind of viewed it as kind of like this dumb action film that's like a fanboy kind of movie. Like, it's the kind of movie that I want to watch when I don't want to really think about what I'm watching, and yeah, and like I did enjoy some of the action sequences in it as well, and I did like the two main characters, but yeah, it's one of those movies where I think I would go to just when I was having a fun night and just didn't really want to think about too much what I'm actually watching. So that's it for us looking at Bloodshot. I gave it 3.5. Kyle gave it 2.5. When you get a chance, go along and check it out and see what you think and make up your own mind about Bloodshot. But that's it for this episode of the Popcorn Conspiracy. I've been Dave G.
And I've been Kyle.
And we'll be back very, very soon with another episode of the Popcorn Conspiracy.